Hey, what's up? This is a response to Monoxide's video about if Goldberg is a good wrestler. You know, I don't really rank wrestlers. In terms of one thing. To me, wrestling is an art form, and just like an art form, you have different artists that have different styles and different ways that they write. There are categories of wrestler. I don't think wrestler is one thing. I don't think you can classify wrestler as one thing. This is what I think, alright? I think it depends on what kind of style you want to put Goldberg under. If you mean, was he a good wrestler as in a technical wrestler? If you mean like a technical wrestler, like Bret Hart, Kurt Hennig, Ric Flair, something like that, no, he wasn't. But you want to talk about a powerhouse wrestler like Batista, Hulk Hogan, Bobby Lashley, Ultimate Warrior, then yeah, he was. If you want to talk about an entertainer, yeah, he was. So if you want to talk about was Goldberg a good wrestler, in terms of the powerhouses and the entertainers, yes, he was. In terms of technical ability and technical skill, technical what he did, no, he wasn't. Matter of fact, I'd rank him as one of the lower powerhouse wrestlers. Somewhere, I'd put him second to Ultimate Warrior, Hogan be third. But if I had to rank the top three, Goldberg would be last. I'd say Hogan, Warrior, Goldberg. Because Goldberg was known to injure people in the ring, not just with his own move, but with his own opponent's moves. He would take his own opponent's moves wrong, and they would get injured. I think that's what Monoxide said when he couldn't sell anything. Bret Hart's career was ended thanks to Bill Goldberg. Stiff kicking him in the head. Not only did Goldberg stiff kick him in the head, but when Bret Hart went for the turn post figure 4 leg lock, Goldberg didn't even know how to take that right, and Bret Hart ended up landing on his head in the concrete outside. So Goldberg could not only not do his own moves right, he couldn't take moves right. So I'd say he's one of the lower ones. He could entertain. He was one of the entertaining people if you're looking for that. I don't really... You know what? Here's one of my main gripes about Bill Goldberg and the WCW in general. Goldberg showed all the weaknesses of WCW, and I will tell you why right now. Goldberg showed the weaknesses of WCW, and I'm going to tell you why. Goldberg went 173-0. 173-0 with only about 3 or 4 rematches in there. And none of the people he fought were bums. None of them he fought were jobbers. They were all regulars on Nitro at one point in time. Here's my gripe. Wouldn't you love to be a wrestling organization that had 173 superstars that you wouldn't call jobbers? All WCW did was show their weaknesses and the fact that they had a lot of young talent, a lot of potential talent that they weren't pushing correctly, that they weren't going to be pushing correctly. You know how much WWE would kill to have 173 freaking superstars just to send one guy through that aren't jobbers? My gosh, seriously. Goldberg showed WCW had a lot of talent. A lot of talent. NWO showed WCW had a lot of talent. Yet, how many of those were pushed to the main event status? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Mid-card status, I'd say about 20 of them. Who stayed in the low card and really didn't do squat? Maybe about 50 of them. So, what it showed is WCW had a lot of talent. They weren't pushing. They had so much talent. I think if they'd have pushed all that talent that Goldberg ran through, at some point in time, they would have beaten the WWE. Wouldn't have been storylines, would have been talent being pushed, things like that. But WCW had over 200-something superstars, and Goldberg ran through 173 of them, and they were all talented. That showed the weaknesses of WCW right there. That was how pointless that undefeated streak was, because all they did was show the weakness of WCW. When you look at how wrestling is today, you know how much Ring of Honor, TNA, WWE would kill to have even 173 guys on their roster? WWE would kill for that, because they have 3 freaking shows now. If they had 173 guys, you could split them up evenly, still have people that weren't getting pushed, but they'd still be getting pushed more than people in WCW were. Now all of them are in an independent circuit somewhere, or doing little things, or have committed suicide. Sorry, Renegade, committed suicide. Rest in peace. The thing is that Goldberg was good for entertainment purposes. He was good for what he was. And Goldberg wasn't hyped as a beautiful wrestler. He wasn't hyped as a technical wrestler. He was marked as a powerhouse wrestler. He was marked as an entertainer. He was marked as someone that could get the crowd going, that was music hit could send chills down your spine, and could create an atmosphere. That's what Goldberg was used for, and Goldberg succeeded in that. After a while, the crowd didn't take him seriously, which is why they had the Goldberg chants piped in. Piped in means they were played over on the TV thing, piped in, because the crowd really didn't take him seriously sometimes. Of course, sometimes you go to the event, the crowd would go crazy for Goldberg, and other events, they would just be dull to him. And they would pipe in the Goldberg chants to make it seem like it was bigger than it actually was. But I really don't think, Goldberg, my main gripe with him is out of the ring. He thinks he is more than he actually is. They say TNA doesn't deserve someone like him. I mean, seriously. You're not that much higher than Rikishi, Goldberg, in terms of TNA having you. Are you saying you're better than Kurt Angle? You're better than Sting? You're better than AJ Styles? You're better than Samoa Joe? TNA doesn't deserve you? What the heck are you talking about, man? You should be glad TNA deserves you. Vince freaking cut you loose because you were mad about your character. Things like that. You said... Now, I can understand why they held back your character sometimes, and they modified your spear move and things like that, Goldberg. I can understand that. But the reason you quit, you say that WWE didn't make your character seem like an intelligent, brainiac individual, like you really are. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but WCW didn't have you as that kind of brainy individual either. WCW had you as Braun. You were Goliath. You were just a monster. I never saw you as anything intelligent, and I never will see you as anything intelligent as your Goldberg character. You were a brute. Get over it. You were a brute in WCW, you were a brute in WWE, WWF, whatever it was called back then, and then you get mad at them because they do exactly what you had. I don't get Bill Goldberg. What really breaks my back, breaks the straw but camel back, is that Goldberg would let the words come out of his mouth that TNA does not deserve me. That's like saying he is better than everyone TNA has. Now, I am not the biggest, hugest TNA fan. I think they have a lot of talent they're not pushing right now. I think they use recycled WWE talent and push them over their homegrown talent, which I think is wrong. But Goldberg, let me tell you something, and let me tell you something right now. You are not better than Samoa Joe. You are not better than Kurt Angle. You are not better than AJ Styles. Heck, you're not even better than Christian Cage. You're not better than Sting. You're not better than Abyss. You're not better than Judas Macias. You're not better than Ron the Truth Killings. You're not better than Wildcat Chris Sabin. You're not better than Dustin Rhodes. You're not better... Well, you are better than Eric Young and Shark Boy. But that's it, man. You are not better than most of the superstars in the TNA roster. You should be happy that they would even consider bringing you in. I know that they're going to bring you in because of ratings, but don't sit there and say that they don't deserve to have you as if you're in some sort of higher power than them. I mean, seriously, how full of yourself can you get? So is Goldberg a good wrestler? Yes. He's a good powerhouse wrestler. That's what he's good at. That's what he's hyped as. He sold it perfectly. But is Goldberg as good a wrestler as he is in his own mind? I don't think I need to answer that. You should be able to answer it good enough. Let me ask you this. In Goldberg's mind, he's better than Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Sting, and all those other guys. And Ron Killings. Do you think he is? I rest my case.